Good evening and welcome to EBN TV. Kindly join us this and every other Thursday as we uncover and as we try to understand the different spheres of life. And this is where we make sure that you understand the different meanders. And here we ensure transparency, we ensure objectivity, we ensure sanity, and we ensure that whatever we do here is trying to help you, is trying to reclaim you. So welcome to EBN TV tonight, because this is where we talk. And our topic tonight is strides, and your host is every time Jeff Kibayu Somba and
me, Caroline Muthoni. We appreciate you for having us on your screens tonight from wherever you're watching us from. And don't forget, you can also get into contact with us on our social media platforms. That is on YouTube, The Legend Productions, and also on Facebook and Instagram, Jeff Somba, The Legend. And today we are having a great guest, an amazing guest with us today. You'll get to know more about her, and she will be sharing important information to you on our topic, stride. So if you are a youth, you don't want to miss this. Back to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Caroline. We are good here on EBN TV. And remember, this is where we talk everything. So make sure that your fears are taken out, because this is our home. And today, as I said, we are on our topic, which is the strides, and these are the steps that people make. These are the messy choices that we can make, because sometimes you find yourself in places that maybe you don't understand yourself. So our topic tonight again is the stride, and we are having a great guest, as my co-host has already introduced, and she is Joanne, but she can identify herself further. Welcome to EBN TV, Joanne.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Yes.
I'm honored to be here.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
My name is Joanne Mutevia.
Yes.
I'm a media producer.
Yes.
I'm born again. I love the Lord.
Yes.
And by the grace of God, I'm doing media production at Skizana Citizen. I'm also a co-founder of Top Choice Meats.
Yeah.
A meat supply company doing local and international meat supply.
Yes.
And I'm also a co-founder of the Rama Hub, a Christian-based organization that does branding, media agency for Christian institutions.
That is great.
Yeah.
And picking you from that point, what are some of the things you do as far as this agency is concerned? Because as we've said, these spheres of life actually is made to make sure that people are lifted from walls, that people are made great. Maybe some perspectives in lives are not great. So that agency that is Christian based, what are some of the things that you do there?
So what we do is we have realized that most Christian institutions, they don't have the proper branding to put them out there. To be able to spread the gospel.
What is branding?
Okay.
To someone watching us down there.
So branding in the digital space is more of being seen in the spaces, digital spaces that we have. That is Facebook, that is Instagram, we have YouTube, and we have awesome, amazing shows like these ones. So you brand them to tailor make them to put out there the information that you want to put out there. And being in a world where we are finding that the secular space is very much active on these digital spaces. We also need to take the same initiative to to bombard the digital space as well, so that we can be able to also spread our gospel and the truth and the light, same as the secular world.
So you're doing this to create awareness and make some kind of enlightenment to those people who maybe are in kind of darkness as far as salvation and Christianity is concerned.
Absolutely, yes.
That is great.
Thank
and
you.
Today, as I said, we are having a great topic. People mess up there. People make choices there.
Yes.
People do messy things out there. So today, our topic is stride.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yes.
And welcome again to EBN TV.
Thank you so much.
As you've been living, have you ever made, or did you ever find yourself in a stride? Or even making messy steps, messy choices, and messy decisions?
Where do I begin? Where do I begin?
You have the whole field here. You can begin from everywhere.
Yes. So, in regards to the tertiary institutions, so I'll just give you a backstory of my life a little bit. I joined university in 2014 at the age of 17.
Which university is this?
Multimedia University of Kenya. And I had come from the village.
Yes.
So I came to Nairobi as a first timer.
You're dusty everywhere.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes. And actually the first time I came, I was robbed. Very, yes, I was robbed, katolewa ushamba, as they say. So being that fresh from the village,
yes,
and having very little knowledge of the world,
yeah,
so I
and
was
maybe the town, to
in
be
the
specific.
town, yes, to be specific, I found that there was a lot of freedom,
Yeah,
and a lot of plenty of time.
Yeah.
If you can agree with me,
Yes.
there's in tertiary institutions, there's plenty of time.
Yeah.
Because we found that in our class,
yes,
we would tailor make our timetable
Yeah.
to a situation.
to something that suits and fits
Yeah.
Exactly.
what you want to do.
Yes.
Okay.
So in our case,
Yeah.
our lessons, our classes were ending on Wednesdays
Yeah.
before 1. So from Wednesday from 1 p.m.
Yes.
all the way to Monday,
You're free.
8
You've got
a.m.
all
Right,
that
you
You
time.
have
get
all
the
this time in your hands.
Yes.
So the thing is, and I think we'll just circle back to that.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
Going to campus, it's very important
Yes.
that you go with when you're already self-aware,
Yeah.
when you have already a self-identity.
Yeah.
So as for me, honestly, I did not have self-identity.
And maybe you have a target of what you want to do
Yes,
in
and that's
life,
how
and
you
maybe
are
in
coming from
university
the
and
village
college.
and you're not
Yes,
yet.
yes. Academic-wise, I knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to be a news anchor since I was in class 2.
Yes.
So I knew what I wanted academically. But now in terms of life skills and personal development,
Cutting you short from there, how did you come to notice that you want to become a news anchor at that low age,
class
low
2.
age in?
honestly,
your life?
I don't know. I just used to watch Swale Mdoe and I loved this Swahili.
Yeah.
And I used to say, nataka nisome nikuwe kama Swale Mdoe.
Yes.
So nowadays I see him and I say, wow, he has inspired a class 2
class
two
People.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then.
Yes.
So academically I knew what I wanted, but in terms of personal development,
Yeah.
life skills, I came empty. Like I had nothing.
Yes.
So this is what happened
Yeah.
to just set the pace.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
After we joined a university in our first year, the second week after reporting, it was in May. So the second week of May, you've known each other. Maybe we found each other at the registration
desk.
queue. So now we found ourselves like
Bonding.
around 15 people who were bonded over the intake.
Over the few time,
Yes.
over the short time.
Yes, so it was on a Thursday, I'll never forget. We were there and then a lady called Frida, it was her birthday.
Yeah.
So we are coming from different backgrounds, we are coming from different places.
Yeah.
So of course, there are people, what do we do for birthdays? We go for sherehe.
Yeah, exactly.
Then Joan Mutevia, we are there. What is sherehe? I'm curious.
You're so
You're
new
from
to
the
the word
Yes, I'm
sherehe.
very new
You
to
never
this.
know how
That
these things are
experience.
conducted.
Yes.
Okay.
So actually the people I bonded over, by then most of them had already experienced this life.
Yeah.
So it was normal for them.
So this was your first semester, and theirs was
Second week, first semester,
Second
week.
week, yeah.
All of us are freshers, but we are from different backgrounds.
doing this sherehe for this time now. You don't even know some of the officers in the school.
I know nothing.
But you are now being
Yes.
introduced to sherehe.
I'm telling you, I can
Okay.
tell you, the first time I entered a club, I was in a maxi dress, a dress of many colors. It was not a coat of many colors,
Yeah.
because
it
I'm
was a dress.
a very, you see this one for present
Yeah.
worship,
Yeah.
the ones
Yes, I
for
understand.
Madhabao, that one, if you had been told in this setting, show me someone who is out of place,
It's you.
I would be
It's
the
you.
first
because of the
person.
dressing.
Yes.
And now, as you
Yeah.
dress this way, because you knew, I think you didn't know the characteristics of a sherehe as they had put it,
Yeah.
Yes.
and that is why you dressed it that way.
Yeah.
So, were you being forced to the sherehe, or you just
No,
you were following a
absolutely
bandwagon?
Just
not.
followed the
I was
lead.
just going with the flow. I was
Yeah.
going with the flow. And then now that is how,
Yes.
because now from the first day, you've already identified yourself with this kind of clique.
Yeah.
So now these people, and then you go and you happen to be a life of the party.
Yeah.
Now no one wants to leave you behind.
Yeah.
So now from that moment, over and over, it was downhill from there.
Yeah.
So
So some issues came easy because you were introduced to them, and maybe a kind of initiation to the same. Because maybe you are new to the same, and in the process of people trying to introduce you to the new thing. Let us
The
call
new
it a
normal.
thing. That is a way of initiation or even baptism in one way or the other, because
You can't
you
say
can't
that.
join them unless you look like them, or unless you try to fit
Exactly.
Yeah.
into what they
Yes.
want you to
Unless
So
fit.
you're part
now,
of the gang
and
now.
remember, coming
Yes.
from the village, I do not have any clue of life out there.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I'm from a Christian background.
Yeah.
My mom is a pastor, my dad is an evangelist.
That's great.
But most of the times you're told these Christian settings. So yes, I know God, I know
Yes.
Christ. So actually that helped me a lot. I wasn't born again by then. I didn't have an understanding of what born again is. But I had the fear of the Lord. So I know growing up, I've never seen alcohol in our home.
Yeah.
I have never seen my dad take alcohol. I have heard stories of people used to take alcohol. So at least that helped me a bit, because now, even in indulging, I was careful. Like, I know there are boundaries I can't pass.
Yeah.
There's a limit I can't. But again, I was already entangled in this company, in this kind of crowd. So yeah, that was a straight stride for sure.
And maybe if you withdraw from what they are introducing to you, maybe you are left alone. You are an island in school.
Very true, because now those are the friends you made
Yeah.
on the onset.
Yeah.
Those are the people you've known. And it's like in university, the people you begin with in first year, you find yourself leaning back to them mostly until maybe second semester.
You are used to the environment in school.
Yes.
Maybe used to different people in the same.
Yes.
And through
facility.
following
Very
such
true.
a negative pressure from the friends, what are some of the challenges and the consequences you faced from this misstep of having a negative friendship?
So I would say I would say it wasn't peer pressure. First of all, I willingly did everything I did.
Yes.
I wouldn't place it on anyone. And what happened? Yes, academically we were thriving. Thank God the people I was interacting with were academically focused.
Yes.
But now in personal development, I missed out on forging my own identity.
Yes.
Because now I came. It's a blank slate.
Yeah.
I give you a blank book, and now I tell you.
You can draw whatever thing you
Yes.
want on the same.
So now I drew my identity from
Yeah.
these things that now I started consuming. So you find that by the time I was coming into my identity, I couldn't really place on who I am.
Yeah.
What did I want as a person besides the academic side? And this is where I go back and say, if you're looking to join a tertiary institution, if you're looking to go do a course somewhere, it's very important to sit down with yourself,
Yes.
know your values, know the your governing principles,
Yes.
and also know your identity. Who am I besides this degree that
And
I'm
what
going
I
to
want
do?
in life.
Yes, and what do I want to be beyond me going into study?
Yeah.
What do I want to have achieved eventually
Yeah.
on top of this? Because I say going into a tertiary institution, the degree, the diploma,
Yeah.
that is the end goal, the main goal. It's like the main river.
Yeah.
But then these experiences that we experience that contribute to our personal development
Yes.
are like tributaries
Yeah.
that are feeding into
Yeah,
the river.
into the main river.
Yes.
Okay.
So all this merges to make the main river. You might have graduated with a first class,
Yes.
but you lost yourself in the process. You lost who you are. You missed out on opportunities, on networks. So it's very important that you know who you are going into a tertiary institution. Because if I had known that, then I wouldn't have taken this long time that took me into coming into myself.
Back to your own.
Yes, because you also find your self-esteem, your confidence
Yes.
has been tied to these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, our audience. Remember, if you are joining us tonight at this moment, you are listening to the Spheres of Life, and the topic tonight is the Stride, and it is happening here every Thursday on EBN TV. And EBN TV is your station because we give you every content. We give you spiritual and contemporary content. So this is your home. Feel welcome. And if you're watching us, kindly let us know where you are watching us from. Thank you, Joanna. Now, I'm back to your story again because there is something that looks interesting in that part of the story. Now, you've not told us, the moment you were initiated to the same thing, this day that you are going to the same Shere now, what did you find in the scene or in the venue?
Oh my God, I was shocked. You see, when you travel internationally and then you say culture shock,
Yes.
I was shocked. First of all, I had never been into a club my entire life, my 16 years of life. So you find chaos. It's chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's noise. It's recklessness.
Yeah.
It's vulgar because now where alcohol is, there's no behavior.
Yeah, there is
Yeah,
violence
There is
of
violence.
any kind.
Yes. So it's a risky situation to be in.
Yes.
But then you navigate, because now again I said we were with people who had already been used to this life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now, who is helping you to navigate through this? Because this is something very fresh to your eyes, to your hands, and maybe
Yes.
to your respiratory system.
Yes.
Who helped you to navigate through this? Because it is not easy. You are finding yourself in a very fresh, very strange, and kind of intentional environment.
True,
How did you
true.
cope? And maybe who helped you to navigate through this? And maybe to understand, okay, from yesterday it was a different time, and today is another different time. How do I get used to this environment?
I think I can say when the devil has decided to capture you,
He has to strengthen you.
he gives you strength. Nothing
Yeah.
seems impossible, you know. So actually it came to a point it looked like I'm the one who had been used to this life.
So it's like you are coaching
So,
the others
you're
now.
coaching the
Now
You
I
are
became
coaching
the
your
coach.
trainee,
You're the pro.
Yes,
your,
I became
your trainers.
Yes. But I'm telling you, when you're having a group of people who are determined to live a certain kind of lifestyle, and they've seen life is fun with this person around, they will do everything to keep you around.
And if they can push you into this kind of negativity and make you progress and maybe set a target on the negative side, why can the same people make you do positive issues and target positively?
Because now here's the thing.
Yes.
If you come from a family where this is the norm,
Yeah.
do you know, to them that's positive, it's not negative.
But does it mean that this is something they are used to from a younger age?
Yes, because most of the people there, they knew what it was.
You are doing.
It's a birthday. What do we do on birthdays?
Yeah.
We go party. It's this. What do we do on our free times back at home? We do. Actually, some of them, it's their parents who are sponsoring the parties and the charades.
If a parent is trying to organize a party for their children or for their students in college, is there a moderate way, or even as far as budgeting is concerned, that if a normal shere in terms of birthday can cost 10,000 or even 2,000, why should a parent push too high to maybe 30, 40,000? What does that mean?
Okay, that would mean
Because you say they used to sponsor.
yes. What I came to understand is my definition of the amount of money I can spend on something is relative to your definition.
Yes.
So if I'm from a very well-off family, you'll find maybe spending 50,000 on a party is nothing.
Yes.
But then to me, okay, that's my school fees.
Yes.
That is my entire semester school fees. So I feel like that is a boundary that you can't really question. The way later in life, I came to realize spiritually, there are people who do this to initiate people into cultism
True.
and things like those. So you'll find maybe a guardian or even your friends, they are very, very kind and generous towards you. Because also you find during these intakes, that's when initiations take place. That's when people are put, especially if you don't have a grounding, a standing ground. So you find that this could be two ways. I'm a parent, I just like spoiling my child. Or I'm a parent, I have an agenda. We are trying to initiate people into something.
Yes, there is that kind of initiation to cultism. But what is this parent doing to their child by giving these huge amounts of money? What do you think you're doing to your child?
For lack of a better word, when you hear that child is spoiled. So this is enabling, it's actually enabling this child to be, I can mess up. Mom will come to my rescue.
No.
I can do this. Dad will come to my rescue. And then if I'm a person who is, I'm just studying for the sake of studying to just have a degree, then I won't be very keen on my studies. I won't be keen on the things I'm supposed to gain during this experience. So I'll just be ignorant. I'll do parties. I'll know my life is financed and nothing will bother me. Which way later in life you realize it is doing more harm than good. Because now you come out there, you come out here in the world, in the corporate world, you're trying to look for a job, and your daddy's money or your mom's money can't get you a job. People are looking for competence. People are looking for experience, for values and principles. So you realize that was a way of distraction without seeing the long-term picture.
I'm left wondering, in this time that you've already deviated, like your path, you followed the wrong type of friends, are your parents giving any moral support now that you are in school, you're from the village, you're alone there? Are they really giving the support?
Maybe picking Carol from there, maybe did the parents know that you deviated?
Please, even mom, please do not watch this. It will break your heart. But honestly, it was chini ya maji. Nobody wants to know, especially African parents, and you add that they are saved. At the end you went to do what? A girl. That would be, my parents never knew anything. And this is what's happening to most students. Parents actually don't know what's happening in their lives, because you would find at the end of 4th year, we are about to graduate. A parent had been paying school fees, they had been sending money diligently, pocket money and everything. But on the graduation day, the child is nowhere to be seen. And then you found we had cases of suicide. We had cases of people.
From parents or from students?
From the students, because now you've been in school for 4 years. School fees has been being paid. But then you haven't been studying, you skipped classes, you deferred a year, you didn't study, but your parent paid school fees. They gave you pocket money. They did their duty as a parent. So now, it's your graduation, what do you tell them? So to avoid this disappointment, you find most comrades giving up their life. You find people, they just got lost. Nobody knows where they are. And that's just their end, which is a really sad ending.
It's a sad ending, truly. Now, my question is still rotating. Because after I sponsor my child with 50,000, they go out, they loiter, wanapiga sherehe. After they mess outside there, is there anything that I can reverse to make sure my child gets back to the roots again, or even to have a stand again? Because here I sponsored the spoiling by giving a lot of money and paying fees timely. But here, the mess is here. You have it and you can see it.
As a child now.
Now, as a parent.
As a parent.
Because actually, you facilitated all these things. What happens? Is there a reverse? Is there anything you can do to reverse, to make sure that your child gets back to where they were before, or that moment they were joining college?
Or rather, to add to that, what is that a parent can do? The moment I know my child is not the same, it's like he or she has deviated from the path I wanted him or her to go through. What can I do to correct?
Okay. African parents would just whip you back to your senses. Our parents. But currently you're finding we're having issues like we are woke, I know my truth. You'll try correct a child and they leave and run away from home. So I feel this is a case that needs a lot of wisdom. I don't believe I have the capacity to actually address it, because now it's a conflicting issue on I enabled you, you're this, And there's someone who said you can't really save someone who doesn't want to be saved. So the thing that can happen is just having converse as a parent, admitting the mistake. I feel like as a parent, if I admit, then it really enables my child to see, oh, even mom sees they're sorry. I feel like I also did something. So conversation out of a place of understanding and not a place of condemnation. Because you can condemn me and chase me away. Like my dad usually says, if you correct a child by bringing them back home, not chasing them away. So understanding, coming from a point of understanding and knowing this is not the end of the world, because now when we mess sometimes, parents would feel, you're no longer my child, I cannot take this. But just that point of understanding and realizing the things that are happening currently in the world, I feel like a lot is happening in this current world. There's a lot of exposure to things, and we are prone, as youths, we are prone to consuming that, especially if we haven't come to a point of self-awareness. So if the parents would understand that times have changed, so try approach this issue from a point of times have changed, a point of acceptance. I did this to lead to this, acknowledging first, so that you can enable the child to acknowledge as well, and then working it out, trying to get solutions from that point now.
Talk to a parent who is listening and watching us tonight, who is sponsoring their...
Stop enabling. We will come and tell you we are going for a trip. There's no trip. And some other... very everyone I want to do my
statements
project. Like us in third year and fourth year, we had projects where we would go to Mombasa to shoot documentaries and all. Even if it requires you to consult with the lecturer, because like us we used to be given transport, a child will say, we are sponsoring ourselves, even accommodation, as we used to be given accommodation.
I know a comrade out there is saying, Joanuna Chong.
I'm burning, I'm sorry, forgive me, do not crucify me. But I think it's also very important for a parent to be in touch with what's happening in school, be in touch with the projects, be in touch with their lecturers. I know it might be a bit hard in the tertiary institutions, but just be in touch, be active in your child's life to understand what's actually happening, observe patterns. There's a pattern I had when I left home. I've come back and I'm having this pattern. Just seek to understand from a point, again, from a point of understanding, not condemnation. Because nowadays we can slam doors and say, don't enter my room. So that would be really quite helpful. And also, if a parent understands, you will not always be there for this child. You're just a steward over this child. A time is coming, they'll go out there, and they will need to engage in things that require you not to give you the money. Treat them, raise them in a way that they will be independent when they go out there in the world. That way they will learn these skills and values as early as then.
And make sure that you don't rain or shower big amounts of money to them.
Please don't. Do not. Just hold it back. Buy a land somewhere, a plot, or even invest for them back chini ya maji. So that you can surprise them with a savings account that has money already after the college. Yes.
That is great.
From the viewers back at home, we are thankful. Thank you for staying tuned. I can see your comments here on Facebook. People are saying, Dina Kamika is saying, amazing show. We have Dina Mwania who's saying, I'm watching from Buruburu, enjoying this show. There is Cecily Somba saying, great. I can see Consolata Chibalonza saying, thanks for watching. I can see Jennifer Gideon saying, tuned in. And Winfred Kisoing saying, wow. And Consolata Chibalonza again saying, impressive. We thank you for your comment. Continue commenting and telling us where you're watching us from.
Thank you for the feedback from our audience. And Joan.
Yes.
After you find yourself there, what are some of the lessons that you learned, or what are some of the insights that you learned or found after transitioning or shifting from the best way to the worst way? Let me term the two ways that way.
Yes. I think I will circle back to it's very important to know who you are.
Yeah.
Very important. Because you'll find the people who came in knowing who they were. Yes, I want to do journalism, but yes, I know I want to walk this path. They didn't have this many problems.
Yeah.
I tell people, if you're given the option to take a bus to Mombasa or take a flight to Mombasa, and all of them they're having the same, please do not choose a bus. You will stop at Voi, be forced to eat, someone wants to go to the washroom. There's a lot of distractions on the way. Just take the flight. It's easier that way. That way. So
what is the difference between option and opportunity? What is the relationship?
Options. If you have an option, bus, and you have a choice. I can choose to take the bus. An opportunity is I could have taken the bus, but then
something else is different is provided.
Yes, or I was at where I took the bus, then someone with goodwill told me, let me carry you in my car, it will even be faster. Now that's an opportunity has presented.
That is great.
Yes.
And my viewers, you are watching the Spheres of Life. Tonight's the topic is trade, and here is EBN TV. As we are finalizing, because of time, we shall get back to this story again and again. So make sure that you don't switch off completely. Make sure every Thursday we are here because we can do a repeat of the same. So John, let's have your final word as far as tonight's topic is concerned. And maybe address parents.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll start with the students. As a student, it's very important to have a set goal. Have a set goal, know the purpose of the goal, know, tap into yourself, see beyond these studies I want to take. What other purpose am I to serve in the world? So with this knowledge, you will find your classes are running up to Wednesday. So according to the purpose and according to the passions you have, you will find you can engage in other activities that would contribute to your values, to enhancing your skills as a person, which really comes in handy once you leave school. Because you find you've left school, you're not getting a job for what you wanted, but you built this skill that is actually being needed somewhere. That way you get a chance, you get an opportunity. So just be very conscious of your time, be very conscious of the company you choose to take, because building yourself up as a person is a process. And the earlier you start, the better. If you choose to start at 17, well and good for you. If you do not start at 25, you'll find yourself having to walk the journey you were supposed to walk at 17. So you cannot skip the process. The foundation is very important. Just make sure you lay it as early as you have the chance. And to parents, I could say it's very important to also understand, if there's one thing I've learned, understanding this as younger people, coming from a place of mercy. It's more of mercy, because we mess. We go out there and we really mess, and you will feel like disowning us. But then you're a steward. How you correct us, how you instill the discipline you want to, really matters a lot on how this child is going to act. And sometimes you find that condemning, someone is coming home every day, you're blaming them for something that happened that can't be reversed. It's only a matter of looking for solutions. Then they feel judged, they feel condemned, they feel there's no love in the family. So you find most young people going out there, they're getting depressed, they're falling into, actually that thing you're telling them not to do, now they say, I will do it, I will do it, and make you feel, because it's a young age where sometimes we don't understand, if I'm doing something to hurt me, to hurt my parent, I'm actually hurting myself, not my parent. So it's important for parents, we understand that how we correct after someone has strayed really matters on determining how they will build themselves up from that experience.
My dear viewers, thank you for tuning in to Spheres of Life tonight, from wherever you're tuning in from, either from your home screen or our social media platforms. We are grateful, and a big shout out to our media crew behind the scenes for making this show a big success.